Okay, so have you ever heard about Dorothy Arnold? Yeah, she was this rich New York heiress, super smart, went to Bryn Mawr, wanted to be a writer. And then one winter afternoon in 1910, she just disappeared. Like, actually disappeared. No struggle, no note, no witnesses. 1 minute she's laughing with a friend outside a bookstore, and 2 minutes later, gone. Not kidnapped in the dark, not swept away in scandal, just gone. Broad daylight, Fifth Avenue. Hundreds of people around. And that's the part that still gets me. How does someone just vanish right in front of an entire city? When a woman that privileged disappears, the theories are always the same. She either chose to leave or she was taken. For Francis Arnold, Dorothy's father, there was only one acceptable answer. To him, the mystery wasn't where she went. It was a matter of foul play. A New York heiress, a secret life, and a father who spent the rest of his life searching for a daughter he swore was murdered and dumped in the Central Park Reservoir. This is the unsolved disappearance of Dorothy Arnold. I'm Ivy Monroe, and welcome to the Midnight Ledger podcast. Let's dive right in. So, let's start with who she was. Dorothy Harriet Camille Arnold, born in 1885. Second of 4 kids. Her family? Loaded. Her dad, Francis Arnold, ran this big perfume importing business. They lived on East 79th Street. Servants, fine china, the works. Now, Dorothy wasn't like most girls in her world. She didn't just want to host dinners or marry well. She wanted to write. She graduated from Bryn Mawr, sent short stories to Harper's and McClure's, but every single one came back rejected. She laughed it off sometimes, but deep down, it hurt. She wanted purpose, something more than the life her parents planned for her. And honestly, in 1910, that kind of dream could get you in trouble. December 12, 1910. Cold but sunny. The city buzzing with Christmas shoppers. Dorothy tells her mom she's going out to find a dress for her sister's debutante ball. She leaves around 11 a.m. with $25, which is like $800 today. Her first stop? Park in Tilford on Fifth Avenue. She buys a half-pound box of chocolates, charges it to the family account, and keeps walking, 32 blocks downtown. Around 2 p.m., she steps into Brentano's bookstore, a famous one at the time, buys a funny little book called Engaged Girls Sketches. When she comes out, she runs into her friend Francis Arnold, no relation. They talk for a bit. Francis says Dorothy looked great, happy, calm, even laughing. Then Dorothy says goodbye, turns, and walks down Fifth Avenue. And that was the last time anyone ever saw her. That night, Dorothy doesn't come home. Her family's worried. But they don't call the police, because in that world, scandal was worse than tragedy. They hire their lawyer. They bring in the Pinkertons. When the lawyer checks Dorothy's room, he finds some strange things. Letters with foreign postmarks, 2 steamship brochures, and ashes in the fireplace, like she'd burned something. But her clothes are still there, her jewelry. No sign she planned to run away. Weeks go by. Nothing. Then, 6 weeks later, her father finally faces the press, offers a $1,000 reward, insists she didn't elope. Reporters go wild. Headlines scream, "Heiress vanishes from Fifth Avenue." And instead of sympathy, people start whispering. Why wait 6 weeks? Why burn letters? Why so secretive? That silence, it changed everything. Now, this part, it gets complicated. Dorothy had a secret. A man named George Griscom Jr. He was a wealthy engineer from Pittsburgh, and her parents hated him. Said he was lazy, unambitious, not their kind. But Dorothy loved him. A few months before she vanished, she told her parents she was visiting friends in Boston. Instead, she ran off with George, stayed in a hotel for a week. To pay for it, she pawned $500 worth of jewelry. When her parents found out, they were furious, told her never to see him again. But of course, they kept writing. When Dorothy disappeared, George was in Florence, Italy. He swore he had no idea where she was. So Dorothy's mother and brother sailed to Italy to confront him. He gave them Dorothy's letters. Her brother read them, said they were trivial, and burned them. To this day, no one knows what was in those letters. Once the story hit the papers, it exploded. Supposed sightings came from everywhere: Boston, Philly, even California. There were ransom notes, wild claims, fake leads. Nothing stuck. And the Arnolds? They were drowning in gossip. People started saying the family knew exactly what happened and were covering it up. Whether that's true or not, the damage was done. So what really happened? Theory 1. The abortion rumor. Back then, abortions were illegal and dangerous. People whispered that Dorothy had gotten pregnant, maybe by George, and died during a secret procedure. Some doctors even claimed a woman like her died that day, but there's no proof. Still, it's the theory most people believe. Theory 2. Suicide. Maybe she couldn't take it anymore. The pressure, the rejection, the family control. Maybe she slipped into Central Park or the river, but her body was never found. Theory 3. Elopement. The steamship folders, the letters. Maybe she really did plan to run away, but she only had $25. How far can you get with that? Theory 4. Abduction. Could someone have kidnapped her on busy Fifth Avenue in broad daylight? Seems impossible, but not completely. Theory 5. Family cover-up. Destroyed letters, 6-week delay, perfect reputation to protect. You see where people get that idea. If they knew something, they took it to the grave. Here's what's fact. Dorothy left home at 11 a.m., bought chocolates, bought a book, talked to a friend outside Brentano's at 2 p.m. After that, nothing. No letters, no sightings, no body. Eventually, she was declared legally dead. Her room stayed untouched, like she might walk back in at any moment. Dorothy's story isn't just about a disappearance. It's about a woman trapped in her time. She wanted independence. She wanted to love who she wanted. She wanted to create. But back then, wanting freedom came with a price. Maybe she was desperate to escape her world, or maybe it crushed her. Either way, she's frozen in that moment on Fifth Avenue, book and chocolates in hand, disappearing into history. You know, when I'm researching these old cases, I start seeing patterns that don't feel like coincidence. Two women, same era, same world of wealth and polished manners, and both end up front-page mysteries. But where Dorothy Arnold vanished into silence, this next woman's disappearance was louder, staged, dramatic, and built for the headlines. Her name was Violet Charlesworth, and just like Dorothy, she lived in a world obsessed with image, status, and secrets worth dying for. Only Violet's secret was that she never really died at all. So picture Britain, 1909. A glamorous young woman sweeping through London society, always smiling, always promising that a massive inheritance was just about to clear. That was Violet Charlesworth. Friends thought she was charming, a little dramatic maybe, but rich. And that word, heiress, followed her everywhere. She borrowed freely, spent lavishly, and kept the illusion afloat by assuring everyone her fortune was coming any day now. But the money never came, and the bills, they did. Then, on the night of January 2nd, 1909, the news breaks. Violet has died. a car crash in North Wales. Her motor car, the story goes, flies off a cliff near Penmaen Mawr and plunges into the sea. The newspapers print her photograph. Tragic, beautiful, lost too soon. Crowds send flowers. Creditors back off. It's the perfect ending for a life she couldn't afford to keep. But a few details start to wobble. No wreckage. No witnesses who actually saw the car fall. And the biggest red flag of all? No body. Weeks later, investigators trace rumors northward, and in the seaside town of Oban, Scotland, they find her. Alive, well-dressed, perfectly composed. Violet Gordon Charlesworth had faked her own death. She hadn't died on a cliff. She'd staged it. To escape the debts and the lies she'd spun around her name. The Heiress was an illusion all along. What strikes me about Violet and Dorothy is how close they are in spirit. Two women trapped by the same expectations. One vanished for real. The other made vanishing her only escape. Both haunted by image, by money, by the pressure to be perfect in a world that didn't forgive imperfection. And maybe that's why these stories still pull us in. Because they remind us how easily a woman could disappear back then, whether by accident or design. So what do you think? Was Violet's fake death a clever con, or a desperate attempt to take back control? And what really happened to Dorothy Arnold? Did she envy that kind of escape, or fear it? Different women, different fates, but both lived in the same gilded world. This is Ivy Monroe, and you are listening to the Midnight Ledger podcast. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week for another strange story.